Welcome to the Mindset, Magic, and Manifestation podcast hosted by me, Michaela J. Get ready to dive into an action-packed, bougie-based, and spiritually guided experience on all things manifesting your next level Lux life. Let's go. Happy Monday and welcome back to the Mindset, Magic, and Manifestation podcast with your girl. It is I, the Michaela J, here to teach you how to manifest your next level Alexa life, baby. We are back with some Monday motivation with an MJ Monday quickie, and we are going to nip one limiting belief in the butt today. Are you ready? Before we get into this quickie, before we get into some punchy motivation, I want to make sure that you get a free gift from me. Have you downloaded my free training on how to create your dream luxury lifestyle using manifestation? It's called Luxury Unleashed. In this 30-minute training, you are going to learn my 3-step method of everything it takes to create a new identity, to shift into new beliefs, and how to manifest like a fucking pro, okay? If you don't have this masterclass, you're going to need it, especially with this podcast episode, because we're talking about removing the limiting belief around time. And in that masterclass, I'm going to go over what my process is to completely redo your full belief system consciously and subconsciously. So snag the link for that. It's in the show notes. And if for some reason you can't access it, just message me over on Instagram. I don't bite. I'm at the Michaela J, and I want to make sure that you get your hands on this free training. It is chef's kiss, so good. So let's dive right in, okay? When you feel like my manifestation is gonna take a long time, I have to tell you, I'm already snoozing. I'm already bored. Your excuses are boring. Yuck. Goodbye. Good night. I do not like this limiting belief. It is not one that I ever think about, that I ever say. So let that just be kind of an expander for you already of like, at a certain point, you're no longer thinking like, oh, this is going to take me a long time. This is going to take a long time before I can have it. That just isn't a conversation that I have with myself. And so when my clients, when my students, when my friends and family say something's going to take a long time, I kind of just like roll over in my grave a little bit. So I wanted to talk about this for our Monday quickie because I am sure you have said this before. I used to say this in the past, and it's something that we need to evaluate. So number one, why do you think your manifestation is going to take a long time? And I do want to say, like, there are some manifestations that are like, oh yeah, I'm going to be in school for such a long time. Let's say you want to become a doctor, right? One of my clients is studying to become a doctor. That takes a lot of years. That literally takes time, right? And so there's some things that are literally going to take a long time to get there because there are those steps, there are years of education needed, right? But then there are other manifestations that aren't necessarily dependent on a time structure by a university, okay? Even if you're at a job and they tell you, hey, this is what your upward mobility looks like. After 1 year, we're going to evaluate and then we can move you into this. And then the second year, we're going to evaluate, move you into that. To be honest, you guys, you can shift the energy around that, okay? I would say the only thing that's not going to be sped up is higher education. And even then, if you take summer classes and double up, like that shit can move faster. All right. So let's just keep that in mind. Even if your job is telling you there is a certain pace, there is a certain timeline, I'm a firm believer that we could actually manifest moving through that a lot faster. And if you want to challenge me, then why are you fighting in favor of your limiting beliefs? Okay. Because if you're listening to this and thinking, well, like, but my job this, oh, but this and that, like, you're literally arguing for your limitation. Do you hear that? Do you see that? Do you feel that? Okay, I don't want you fighting for your limiting beliefs. I want you fighting for the reality you actually want to have. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, why do you think it's going to take a long time? Why do you think it's going to take a long time? And I think about with this topic, I think about my Range Rover. I always knew I wanted a Range Rover. I actually very vividly remember being in my friend's basement. I think it was a snow day, and she had this massive like love sack, you know, like the big round cushion things. And we were like watching Mamma Mia in her basement. And I think we were like 15 or 14 or 15. And we were talking about cars and travel and like life. And I remember thinking like, I want a Land Rover. Like I want a Range Rover. And I was like, you know, that's so bougie, like a white Range Rover. That's so like rich mom vibes. I want a Range Rover. And that's when the first seed was planted in my head. And my first car when I was 16 was a Land Rover. Now, let me say this. It was in 1998. It was like so old. It was like the kind that's like navy green. It should have been in like Jurassic Park. Like it was dark navy green. It was dark forest green, tan on the inside. And I'm not kidding. There was like a hole from the roof to the dashboard. And so when it would rain, I would get poured rain on my drive to school. Like she was raggedy, but I loved her. And so that was my first Land Rover, literally as old as I am. I was born in 1998. But I knew I wanted like a bougie Range Rover Sport. And when I came into college and I went through my spiritual awakening and started finding out about manifestation, my first vision board, I could picture it so well, has a white Range Rover on it. And I could have then thought like, it's taking a long time. It's going to take me a long time. At the time I drove a Ford Fusion. I could have told myself a million times, it's going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time. But in fact, when I ended up manifesting that exact Range Rover Sport, which I do own now, it happened in one day. Like it happened in one day, in one moment. And this is something we need to realize about our manifestations. It's all happening in one moment. It's like the one moment it clicks together. And yes, it's a compiling of all of this energy and all this momentum that we've built up, but it happens in one moment. So does anything really take a long time? You're putting in the work, you're putting in the effort, you're building the momentum, you're building the energy, but the manifestation comes in one moment. So remember that. When I got my Range Rover, somebody crashed my first Tesla. They crashed into it while she was parked. RIP, Tesla the Tesla, my first one. And I got this huge insurance check as a result of that. They paid off the rest of my lease because that one was a lease. I own the one I have now. So they paid off the rest of my lease and then they cashed me out a huge check for all the damages for me to get a new car. And I was looking at other Teslas. I was looking at another electric car. And then I thought, like, what if I just go and test drive a Range Rover? And I test drove that Range Rover and I went home with that Range Rover the same day. Like it was one moment. And it wasn't even like on my mind initially, but that's something that I had been manifesting. And you could look at it and be like, oh yeah, that took a long time from the moment I decided that I wanted it. But really it didn't. The manifestation happened in one moment. And if I had thought, so here's a big mindset shift for you. If I had thought this is taking a long time. This is taking a long time. Where's my Range Rover? Where's my Range Rover? This is taking a long time. This is taking a long time. That would have made it feel so fucking long. So some of your manifestations feel like they're taking a long time because you are literally thinking this is taking a long time. This is taking a long time. This is taking a long time. You are making it feel like a long time. When I got my Range Rover, I didn't feel like, oh my God, that took a long time. I thought, oh my God, I have the Range Rover. Holy shit. Like I'm manifesting this. Yes. Checked off the list, right? Same thing as like with the Lambo truck that I'm manifesting. I'm not thinking to myself every day, this is taking a long time. This is taking a long time. I'm thinking like, oh my God, it's coming. It's going to be here. Like I'm so excited. So the reason why some manifestations take a long time is because you're literally just looking at it like that. And you're telling yourself that over and over and over again. And you know what happens by law of attraction? It then takes a long fucking time because the like energy attracts like energy. If you are in that waiting energy, that's what the universe is going to be giving back to you. So I want you to think about that. Is it feeling like it's taking a long time because you are creating that story in your head? It's taking a long time, it's taking a long time, it's taking a long time, over and over and over again. Okay, what are you telling yourself about the manifestation? So there's gonna be that. The conversation that you're having in your head. But then let's go back to the question. Why do you think your manifestation is going to take a long time? Is that based off of practical reality? Is that based off of your limited perception, right? And that's like people launching a business and thinking like, oh yeah, it's going to take 5 years to be profitable. It's going to take such a long time to be profitable. When I launched my business, it became my full-time job the first month. So this is all dependent on your beliefs. If you think it's going to take you 2 years, you think it's going to take you 5 years to be profitable, then it's going to. If you think it's going to take 6 months for you to make 10K months, then it's going to. If you think that it's going to be your full-time income the first month, then it's going to. Your beliefs define and mold your reality. So why do you think it's going to take a long time? You think it's going to take a long time because it took your friend a long time, your parents, people at your job. It took people around you a long time to get in shape. And so you're just molding these ideas based off of external things. But what if you could be the odd one out, prove everybody wrong, and blow everyone's fucking minds? So that's something I really want you to dive into. If there's a certain manifestation you're thinking right now, and you have decided it's going to take a long time, challenge that. Why? Why do I think it's going to take a long time? Why is that going to take a long time? Okay. Challenge that. Ask why maybe a couple of times and dig deeper and deeper. So number one, I want you to look at what's the conversation going on in your head. Are you saying it's taking so long, blah, blah, blah. The manifestation happens in one moment. Okay. It delivers, it lands in one moment. So look at your inner narrative. That's number one. Number two, why do you think it's going to take a long time? Questioning that. Why? Dig into like 5 whys deep. That's going to help you realize and unleash a lot. And number three, the last thing I want to leave you with for this quickie is, what are you waiting on for the manifestation? So this goes for even the ones that are the time dependent, like university wise. Okay. So let's say it's going to take you 6 years to get X degree. You can't go into your job field until you get that. And so you tell yourself, oh, well, I'm manifesting this job, but it's going to take me a long time to get there. Okay. So what are the feelings that you're going to feel? Because this is how we can hack the system and we speed things up, even at your job, if they tell you that there's a certain amount of time it's going to take to get there. What is the end result you want to feel? So let's say you're studying to be a doctor, and when you're a doctor, how are you going to feel? You're going to feel super fucking accomplished. You are going to feel so intelligent. You're going to feel so inspired that you get to change lives. You get to feel like you're making such a difference, right? Whatever those feelings are for you. Okay. Even at your job, you're like, oh, well, I want to get to the manager level. They're telling me that it takes 3 years. Well, what are you going to feel when you get there? You feel very accomplished. You feel excited and empowered knowing that you're going to lead the team. You feel inspired of how you want to change the office, how you want to change the dynamics, how you want to change the workday, right? And whatever is the end feeling for you, let's tap into that. Feel that now. Feel that now. That's going to make the manifestation feel so much faster. So that maybe you will be in school for 6 years, but it doesn't feel like that because you're living out those feelings that you're manifesting every single moment, every single day. Same thing in your business. If you're thinking like, oh, it's taking me so long to get to a 30K month, a 50K month, it's taking me so long to get to a 10K month, maybe. It's like, okay, well, once you're there, what are you going to be feeling? Are you feeling that on a daily basis now? Because if you're feeling that on a daily basis now, you're going to feel like it's here now, it's here now, it's here now. And you attract all of the resources, all of the ideas, so it can be here now. You see how our beliefs are molding every single part of our reality. They're molding every single part of your result. And that's why it is so important for us to do this work and look at what are the constructs that we are deciding on in our brain. If you're deciding it's going to be a long time, it's going to be a long time. But I don't want that for you. I want you to put in the work and build the momentum and put in effort for sure, but it doesn't mean it has to take a long time. You're just deciding that. So let's decide differently, okay? And if you want more help with this, I highly encourage you to download that free training I told you about, Luxury Unleashed, how to create your dream luxury lifestyle, baby, using manifestation. It is so good. 30 minutes of your time to literally blow your life out of the fucking water. Let's go. All right, happy Monday. I'll talk to you on Wednesday. Bye. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to leave a 5-star rate and review. I love hearing your takeaways and wins from the podcast in the review section, so don't forget. Love you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.